we were throwback thousands of years ago to the time of Chizkiyahu Melech and Yoshiyahu Melech in the second book of Malachim in the Tanakh, where they were machnis Jews back to tshuva, and it was like something that was maval al arayon. It was amazing. That's the effect of the Baal Tshuva movement now, and hopefully it'll still grow. But we were the Nachshons that jumped into the river, into the sea. To us belongs the right of the Bechor, the firstborn, because we came back first. Now I'll close. My brother Aaron is gone. He will be sorely missed by all of us in the family and throughout Klal Yisrael. Sorry, Aaron. Shomer Achi Anochi. I was supposed to be your brother. I was Shomer you. I didn't do a good enough job. When I heard of your Pt3, when I heard of his passing, my first thought, I feel like Reuven. Going back to the pit, he wanted to bring Yosef back to his father, and Yosef was gone. He went to his brothers, and he said, Eyeled einenu v'ani ana aniva. Where can I go now? I failed. I let you down, Aaron. I'm so sorry. I failed you. Hope you'll be moichel me. May his memory be a blessing for all of us. And may it's yosher for all the coming times, trouble, whatever, chas v'shalom, that he should be able to pray for on our behalf. Aaron is an integral part of the Shalshelas HaTorah now. May he go climb ever higher in the Shemayim, in the heavens, in Gan Eden, close to Hashem. Bask in the schar, in the reward that he so richly deserves for all of his toil, raising his children with his dear wife, Mindy, Masha, and may all of us, throughout, despite this veil of tears that we've been going through for the last couple of months, may we all have Ksivich Simatova, a sweet new year, and may we see Aaron again, Ad Bias HaGoel Tzedek. Amen.
We have one more speaker. After that, we'll daven Maariv. At that point, the women could again, there's a refreshment set up in the room right behind us. Please have in mind the needle for the neshama when you make the brachos. But in ending, we thought certainly appropriate. We know what a incredible family Rabbi Parry raised, and to have a representative here, Yossi, to say a few words representing the family.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Special thank you to Rabbi Block for arranging this. It's been 18 years since I've been on the other side of this bima, hearing Rabbi Stuberger's Friday Schmoozin. It feels good to be on this side finally. I spent 3 years here in Valley Torah. As many of you probably don't know about all my honor roll and academic achievements that I've gotten from Valley Torah. I'm just kidding, that didn't happen. But I also like to take this opportunity to apologize for all the broken windows and the missing staff bathroom key that I stole 18 years ago. So, one negative thing about being the last person to speak is that a lot of things I prepared were already said by everybody before me, so we'll do some chazara. My father was a very unique person, as we've been hearing, everyone already knows. He didn't fit into a mold. Couldn't define him as a specific type of Jew and a specific type of person. He was his own unique mold. He knew who he was and he knew who he wasn't and never tried to be someone else. If I were to try and sum up my father in one sentence, I would say he was the most loving, genuine, caring, and persistent person you would find. I like to go through a few of his great midos that stood out for me as his son. Chazal teach us we should be like the students of Aaron HaKohen, Ohev es habriyos, to love all people. It doesn't say to love all Jews. It's to love every single person. And that was my father. He would pass by any random stranger in the street, in the store, and everyone got a smile, everyone got a hello. My father talked to every single person in shul. We experienced growing up having many guests over for Shabbos, and was not the most pleasant for us kids. But my father would bring home the interesting people, you know, the nebuchs. But for my father, he didn't view anybody as a nebuch. He was shocked when we would act upset and bothered that, you know, why are you bringing these people home? And he's like, I don't understand. I don't see what you guys see. And that was really how he viewed every person, every Jew. He can carry conversations with all different types of people, ranging from 3 years old to 100 years old, Orthodox, not Orthodox, Lubavitch, Sephardi. My father knew how to talk to anybody and connect in the way that that person would need. He was genuine. There was never a fake smile, never a fake hello. If he said hello and he was smiling, it was real. The Gemara tells us the signature of Hashem is emes. Hashem is emes and His Torah is emes. When we live a life of truth, we emulate Hashem. My father was an ish emes. He saw the truth of Hashem and wanted to share it with everyone he could. He never fell for the fakeness or the glamour of this world. He was real and genuine. I was speaking to one of my Rabbeim after the Levaya regarding a question of inheritance. He asked me, so what did he own? A house, an apartment, a car? And I took a moment to realize that he didn't own anything. He lived with the pasuk, Ki elai b'maisai yikach hakol. We take nothing with us. He lived this truth of the Olam Haba. He lived by that in this world. He didn't care about materialistic things. Didn't interest him. He was so caring. He was concerned about everyone, especially his kids. He cared about his brother, Moshe. He cared about his wife. Your problem was his problem. Most people are so self-absorbed that they're not able to feel for others. But my father didn't live for himself, so he had so much room in his heart for everyone else. It was also much easier for him than most people because he only saw the good in people. He had an amazing ayin tov. Everyone sees the dead animal, but he would comment, look at those nice teeth. And that's just who he was. Only saw the positives, no negativity. And finally, and perhaps my favorite meet of my father was his persistence. Yish was a dirty four-letter word by him, as Rabbi Wolf was mentioning. There was no giving up, not in marriage, not in work, not in relationships, and not in life. I believe it's because he had such emunah in Hashem. He knew there was always hope. A young man whose wife passed away, 9 children to raise, isn't easy. Most people would fold, but not my father. He never had things easy, but he kept pushing. Right after the Tochacha, that talks about the pains and hardships that will happen to Klal Yisrael if we don't listen to Hashem. The Torah then talks about the idea of eruchin, giving one's value to the Beis HaMikdash. The Kalzen Berher Rebbe says, what's the connection between these two? Why are these next to each other? The answer is because only after one goes through a tochacha, hardships, do you see his real value. Anyone could believe when it's easy and things are going well. What about when things are tough? My father shined in the darkest of time. But it wasn't just in hardships, it was in all areas of life. At the end of his life, he was reading a parenting book called Reset, which I advise everybody to pick up a copy. Not that I'm selling them. I don't own stock in it. But it's a great book. About a year ago, my father came with me to this therapist, Mark Brenner, that I was seeing. And my father knew that coming with me was not going to be a walk in the park for him. It was not going to be easy. But he had this strong desire for truth, for emes. And he was willing to put the work in. And he said to me, Yossi, if this is going to help us get closer, if me, coming there and learning more about myself and how I can be a better parent, sign me up, I'm in. And he took the book back to Tzfas, and he went through the whole book. There's notes in here that he was writing on the book. And the point I'm bringing up here is that, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know of many men or women at 65 years old that are willing to entertain the thought and spend time on working on parenting when their youngest child was 21, 22. Most people would say, that ship has sailed. Why spend time on that? And that is something that his persistence in continuously working on himself and being open and humble and willing to admit and to hear that maybe he didn't know everything. Maybe there's parts he missed. and that really has left an imprint on me in my life. And he was a fighter. And he came back a few months ago, a few months before he passed away. And he asked me, can we go back to this therapist, because I finished the book, and I want to review with him and see if I fully grasped what he was saying, just to show how serious he took it. He was a fighter, and that's definitely a trait that I inherited and learned from him, as it's helped me a lot with my competitors. So thank you, Abba, for that. All jokes aside, my father was an unbelievable person. I miss him very much, and I hope to be able to emulate his ways and continue his legacy. May we be zeicha to learn from his amazing midos and bring his neshama to the highest heights. Thank you.
El molei rachamim eshoichein bamroimim hametzei menucha nachoina al kanfei hashchina b'ma'alois kedoshim u'tohirim kezayar harki amazirim es nishmas Rav Aaron ben Avram Shmuel Halevi sholach le'olamoi bavor shemishpachli tintzok bat askaras nishmasoi b'gan eden tei menuchasoi lochein ba'al rachamim yasirehu b'seisar kanafav le'olamim B'yitzor b'tzor achayim es nishmasoi Adonai hu nachalasoi v'yanuach b'shalom al mishkavoi v'noimar Amen.
Dav Maariv now.